Hey, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say thanks to my followers on Facebook that send me some support. It's fantastic. It helps, um, I always find it interesting how, I remember the first time I asked for support financially, because I had, I don't know, I think it was the real time was when I had my big crash. And, let's see. Got my cane here. This cane is. I bought this cane like 6, 7 years ago, and it's neat because it folds up, like it all detaches and it folds into like a tiny little rectangle. It's about this big when it's folded up. Um, yeah. Oh, a funny story though. I bought this cane during the very first tour that I did after my big crash. Why? Because I had another crash on the very first tour after I did where I had my big crash, which is crazy because I could bear, like I was still healing from the big crash, and I had another crash, and it was scary because my legs were filled with metal, and if I had broken them again, there's a good chance my legs would have been amputated. So, anyways, oh yeah, that was a crazy tour. I didn't talk about it because I was so embarrassed at the time. I had I had gotten bitten by fire ants, short like the week before the tour, and I got infected. And we're not talking little. Like we had a doctor on the tour, and the doctor said to me, because my leg got infected from an ant bite, a fire ant bite or sting or whatever, and I went. It got infected, and I could see like the redness creeping up my leg. Like my leg was swollen from I got bit on the foot, and my foot was swollen and red, and it was moving its way up my leg, the redness and swollenness. And I kept I had to do the tour. I needed the money, so every town or city that we stopped in, I'd go to a new hospital, and they'd give me antibiotics, and the antibiotics would do nothing. And so at the next city, I'd have to stop at a different hospital until I get stronger antibiotics. And the reason the antibiotics weren't doing much is because I just got a dozen operations not too long before that, and I was on antibiotics for them because I had an infection then as well. So like the more you use antibiotics, the less effective they become. So I'm literally giving a tour. There's a chance that I'm going to lose one of my legs to an ant bite, and then I crash and hurt the other leg. And yeah, I ended up in a wheelchair at that tour. Like I gave a tour of Taiwan with, I think it was a pretty sold out tour. I had like 8 people on the tour, and what we would do was at every well on the scooter I was fine because I didn't have to walk. And then when I would take them to touristy places, I would just stay on the scooter and explain to them, okay, go check this out and go here, and you guys got 30 minutes and blah, blah, blah. And they had a great time, even though I was like losing one leg and hurt the other. And then what we did was at, I've told this story before, but I think it was maybe on my Patreon. What we did was when we would get to certain hotels, one of my customers would go in and ask if they had a spare wheelchair, and then they'd come out and wheel me into the hotel. And true story, we were in like a small touristy town, and they had an extra wheelchair at our resort. It wasn't a hotel; it was a resort, and they had a wheelchair. And then I was with the group, and they were having fun. And I said, I'm gonna head back to the resort. And they're like, do you need someone to push you? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. My arms work fine. You guys have fun. On the way back to the resort, there was a road that was like cobblestones, and I couldn't move. My arms gave out. I was too tired from pushing, and I was stuck on this road, and it started to rain. So M13 was sitting in a wheelchair on a road by himself at night in the rain, crying because he couldn't push the wheelchair, and I was waiting for someone to walk by to help push me back the rest of the way to the resort. I wasn't far from it. I was like half a mile away, but I couldn't get there. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny because when I'm on my bed or if I'm sitting on my chair there, I feel normal. There's not much pain when I'm if as long as I'm not moving. But now I have to. I just woke up, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I wanted to say good morning to you guys, and it's nice because the first thing I think about in the morning is that I got some financial support yesterday, and it helps with stuff like this. It helps so much. That's why I give. I give if I see a random Facebook post where someone's like, "Oh, I." There was one time someone said their air conditioner was broken and it was during a heat wave and they needed money to fix it, and I think I've given to. I'm trying to think of specific examples, but there's a few. Um, if my right leg, it's my right leg that's hurt. And for those of you that don't know, when you hurt one leg, you put the crutch in the opposite hand. The majority of people think this is another one of those. The majority of people are wrong. Milk is good for you. No, it's not. Not eating food is unhealthy. No, it's not. If you hurt a leg, you should put the cane in the next to it. No, you shouldn't. If my right leg is hurt, I want to put all my weight on my left leg and the crutch to my left, so all my weight is on these two, and it takes the weight off to the right. Um, yeah. What else was I gonna say? That's about it for now, actually. 6.5 minutes. That's a long vlog considering I've only walked like 4 feet. Okay. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. My wife's so sweet. That's an air purifier. I put it in her. I bought it for her for the baby because she has a baby in her room. So I thought they needed clean air because I heard air is healthy for babies. And she moved it into my room because she says I'm sick and I'm recovering, so I need healthy air right now. So M13 is stealing air from a baby. That's the moral of that.